See my tick marks on my graph. Here's pi over 2, here's pi. Here's 3 pi over 2, here's 2 pi. So my tick marks are going by half a pi. Okay, so I still have 0, 0. And now I go over a half a pi and up 1. Over to pi, and I'm at 0. 3.5 pi, I'm at -1. 2 pi, I'm back to 0. 5 pi, did I say 3.5 pi? 3 pi over 2. 5 pi over 2, I'm back at 1. 3 pi, I'm back at 0. Negative pi over 2, I'm at -1. Negative pi, I'm back at 0. Let me see what this function is looking like. Oh, so there's more than one cycle here. I see, but between 0 and 2 pi, I see 2 cycles, and that will be something important starting Monday. But I'm sorry, I see 1 cycle between 0 and 2 pi. So 1 cycle. Let me go back. Sorry, I went too far. I see 1 cycle between 0 and 2 pi. We're back to yes, that's what I meant. 1 cycle between 0 and 2 pi. How long is the period? Okay, I get 1 cycle between 0 and 2 pi. So my period is 2 pi. What's the amplitude of sine? Amplitude is how tall it is divided by 2. So this has a total distance of 2 between the lowest point and the highest point, horizontally. I'm sorry, vertically. Head is not together today. So that gives me an amplitude of 1. What do you think the period was in the previous example when we did degrees? Can I roll back? What do you think the period and amplitude were for this graph when I did it in degrees? 360 gets me back to the beginning of the circle, so that represents 1 cycle. So when I'm in degrees, I get 360 for the period. When I'm in radians, I get 2 pi for the period. And what's the amplitude? Still 1. Okay. There are other graphs of sine that aren't just plain old y equals sine of theta. Here's a couple, for example. Here's one, for example. Let me make this a little easier to see. That's pi. That's supposed to be 2 pi. 0, negative pi, negative 2 pi. What's the period of this one? The distance it takes to do 1 cycle. What's the period? What's the amplitude? It's going between positive 3 and negative 3. So that's a distance of 6 divided by 2. That's 3. So look at another one. Oh, this one I think has the same period. Does this one have the same period? Okay. We got a more varied set of examples here. Period of this one. Amplitude of this one. Go up to 4, down to negative 4. That's the total distance of 8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay. Now, graphing calculators. And so part of this is not going to be on the visual notes because I don't have the graphing calculator anymore on my computer, but you know, I'll talk it through.